that constant worry of not being good enough, that continuous and persistent self-doubt and inner rumination that is haunting us, trying to figure out if we are good enough for other people. Because that's the real question that we need to be asking ourselves. Who do we want to be good enough for? We hear so often out there people saying, "You are enough. Believe that you are enough." And what I feel is missing in that narrative is, yes, fine, I am enough, but who am I enough for? Because if we're trying to be good enough for other people, we're highly likely going to be wrong. The chances that you are going to be good enough for your boss, for that person that you're dating, for your mom, for your dad, for that friend, the chances that you're going to be good enough for all of them are very small. And this might sound a little bit harsh, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Because what's most important is that we feel that we are good enough for ourselves. And the true question is, can you still be good enough for yourself? Can you still think highly of you when you are facing the reality that you are not good enough for someone else? Can you sit with yourself after you have a meeting with someone and you felt that you weren't good enough for them and be okay with yourself? Can you still think highly of you after a situation like that? Can you still be good enough for yourself after you hear from that person that comes to you and tells you, "I think you're very nice, but I don't want to see you anymore"? Can you still feel good enough for yourself after all of those years of a long relationship when that person comes to you and says, "This is not enough for me anymore"? The amount of moments in life in which we will not be good enough for other people are endless. This is something that is going to happen over and over again. And true self-love and true inner confidence is about being able to be okay with those moments. It's about being able to feel, yes, the very human pain that is felt in those situations, but ultimately stand up for yourself once again and go out there and face the world, telling yourself that you are still good enough. Because no matter how many people say no to you, no matter how many people shut the door in your face, no matter how many people choose to be with other people and not with you, you are still good enough for yourself. You are still choosing yourself. You are still looking at yourself in the mirror every day and saying the very cheesy words, "I love you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of the effort that you are putting into this. I'm so proud of you for getting up every day, every morning, and putting in the work. I'm so proud of you for showing up again. I'm so proud of you for following your dreams. I'm so proud of you for not getting lost in the noise that is created from all of the opinions from other people. I'm so proud of you, no matter what other people think or say of you." So today I want to ask you, who is it that you're thinking about when you are trying to be enough? Who is that person that you are using as a benchmark to measure if you are good enough or not? Who is it that you're letting decide your enoughness? And I want you to be very honest with yourself when you answer this question. Is that person you, or is it someone else? When someone else says something to you that is not what you expected them to say, when someone else says something hurtful to you, when someone else says something that brings out, that highlights, that points out that obviously they don't think that you're going to cut it. They don't think that you're going to make it. When someone else says that to you, how do you feel about yourself afterwards? And I'm not talking only about the immediate afterwards. We're all human beings. We're all allowed to feel like shit after we get negative feedback or after someone says something about us that is hurtful. Immediately after they say that, fine, let's allow ourselves to have our moment of pain, of reaction that hurt. But a few minutes after that, and a few hours after that, and a few days after that, and even weeks and months, did our perception of ourselves change because of what they said? Or were we able to come back to our truths and still think that we are proud of ourselves because of all of the effort that we are putting in and because we're showing up day after day? So that is a very clear indication of who is the person that you are putting in charge of your enoughness. Who is in charge of deciding how you feel about yourself? Who are you giving that power to? Are you giving it to yourself? Or are you giving it away to other people and to some other very specific people? Some people that you care about. Some people whose opinions you value. It's okay to value other people's opinions, but we cannot value their opinion about ourselves more than we value our own, because we are living with ourselves every single day of our lives. We are waking up with ourselves every day of this life, and it's so important that we learn to appreciate ourselves and to measure our enoughness ourselves. It's so important that we allow other people to think about us whatever they want to think, that we allow ourselves to even disappoint other people in our process of becoming better. Because it is okay to not be enough for other people. It is okay to not meet their expectations all of the time. It is okay to not be the best one in the room for specific things. It is okay to not be the right person for that guy or that girl. It is okay to not be the one, to not be the best, to not be the shiniest. It is okay to not be that at all times, in all places. And this might sound extreme, and you may be wondering, well, who is expecting that of themselves? And you would be surprised to realize how often we do this. Because if you pay attention to what are those moments in which you have actually felt small, what was the thing that triggered that feeling of smallness in you? And was it actually that big? And was it actually that important? If you ask yourself that question, if you pay attention, if you reflect on those situations, you will realize they were not that big of a deal. They really weren't. And it will be the same tomorrow, and next week, and next month, and next year. So my invitation for you today is to ask yourself, who are you allowing to decide if you are good enough or not? And can you still be good enough for yourself when you are not good enough for other people? Can you be okay with the fact that many times in life, more often than not, you will not be enough for other people and still be enough for yourself? Because that is the most important thing, that you can hold yourself together, that you can think highly of you no matter what other people think of you. Because how you perceive yourself and how much you appreciate yourself, how much you love yourself, and how proud you are of yourself is what is going to dictate your mood every day and your ability to trust yourself when you are embarking on a new journey with new challenges along the way. Your capacity to overcome the challenges that are going to come with that journey that you choose for yourself, your capacity to do that is going to depend on how highly you think of yourself. And if you allow your perception of yourself and you being good enough or not to be dictated by how others think of you in random situations in different moments in life, you're not going to get there. So I need you to come back to yourself, and I need you to start taking ownership again for deciding that you are good enough, no matter if you're not good enough for other people in different situations. That is okay. You are a human being. You are learning. You are growing. You are evolving. And true, you might not be good enough for specific things in different moments in life. And that's okay. And you don't always have to be good enough in the small different things and tasks and skills that you are developing yourself in. You don't always have to be good enough. You are actually most likely never going to be good enough, because that is such a subjective and abstract thing to be or define. What does it even mean to be good enough in life? But for specific things and specific skills, it is okay to not be good enough. And that doesn't mean that you as a person are not good enough. You are going to get there. You are going to get to the next level. And there will always be another next level and another one. And it's an ever growing process, and you are ever evolving. And the irony is that you are enough and not enough at the same time. But at the core of it, what is the most important for you to continue to push yourself forward and enjoy the journey, which is what actually matters the most, is that you have a perception of yourself that you are enough to keep trying, that you are worth the journey, that you are worthy of being here, that you are worthy of taking space, that you are worthy of showing up once again and learning. And even if you're not good enough yet to make it to the next level, you're good enough to keep trying. You are good enough to keep showing up. And you are good enough because you have decided that for yourself. And you're not letting anyone else take that decision for you.